Stamping friends, it's Sherry Parker coming to you live on Wednesday, July 17th. It's hard to believe that summer is officially halfway over. We just returned from a family vacation in Pensacola, Florida. We had an awesome time, had the whole entire family, and it was great. I'm a little bit out of the swing of things, didn't do a ton of stamping, but we did do some stamping while we were there. We had a rainy morning one of the days, and I brought along a couple of my Stampin' Up! Kits, and the grandkids had fun playing with those. So, hey Cheryl, how are you? Thanks for joining. So it was pretty interesting though. I gave them free reign and let them just go to town, and it was really cute, the creations that they came up with. So just a little plug for Stampin' Up! Kits, because they're very portable. Take them with you. Some don't even require any stamping at all. You just put stuff together. So it's great for kids. So right now is, during July, is bonus days for Stampin' Up! So for every $50 you spend, you receive a $5 coupon to use in August. So there's no limit. So for each 50 you spend, you're banking up those credits, those coupons to use in August. So something to consider if you have some things you need. Go ahead and get them now and then save again next month. So, and then I also wanted to mention, I did put it on my Facebook page and I did send out a customer email, but I'm having a kit together on August 7th. It's a Wednesday. It'll be like an open house format from 6 to 9. You can come, make your kit. All you have to do is order a kit or a couple. Go to sherrythomas.stampinup.net. That's my website, and there's a host code to use. And when I flip over the camera, you'll see it on my desk. But just go ahead and plug that in, and then that way I know that you're coming. Hey, Ruth. So that is coming up in August, but make sure you order your kit by July 27th. That'll give it time in case there's any delays in shipping, which I don't foresee, but just to ensure that you have it by August 7th. And then just bring it to my house. You don't need to bring anything else. I have everything else set up. I've got extra adhesive and things, of course, and it'll just be a good time to hang out with people, create, craft. So order your kit, bring it with you, and we'll have some fun. So, all right. And then, I do want to kind of plug the kits. So these are a couple of the kits that I've made recently. This is one of the ones I took to Florida. No stamping, and these little honeycomb things, they had a blast with those. So the kits are great. There's almost 40 of them, maybe like 38, I think, in total. So if you go to the website and when you're shopping, you can just click on kits, and then it shows you all of them. So you can scroll through the pages and find them. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and flip my camera over, and I'm going to show you the cards that we're gonna make tonight. All right, hopefully you can see my table okay. Put my glasses on so I can see. Oh yeah, this is just more about the bonus days, as we just talked about. So have a couple more weeks for that. So tonight we're going to use one of the new online exclusives. You might have seen it online. It's Changing Leaves. So this is the stamp set, some beautiful leaves, and then also some great greetings. And then it comes in a bundle, or you can buy the stamp separately, of course. But there is a hybrid embossing folder, so it has this beautiful leaf pattern, and then it coordinates with the die cuts. So in addition to these fun, like some good shapes for greetings and leaves, it has this piece here, which actually can be used alone or in the embossing folder. So I'm going to show you how to use that tonight. It's really, really fun to do. So I was going to show you the two cards we're making, the same layout. So these cards look very different, in my opinion. I think this one could be more even of a masculine card. All I did is use a little bit of the Country Woods Designer Series paper, and then I just I just cut and embossed the leaves, and then embossed the background, and literally has one stamp there, the greeting. And then the second card is the same layout, same positioning of the leaves, but this one I felt like could be a wedding card or an anniversary card. You probably can't see it very well, but there's Wink of Stella on the leaves there, so it gives them some shimmer. And we've just done a little embossing of the greeting and then paired it with this foil paper. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start with this one. And to make this card, I've got a half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Night of Navy, and I've scored it in the middle there. And then I have 2 pieces of white, so it's 5 1/4 by 4. And one of them I'm just going to go ahead and real quickly tape on the inside because it is a very dark cardstock. And if you're like me and you want to write in your card, then it helps to have a little piece of white there. So that's just going to be the inside of our card. And the other one, I'm going to emboss with the leaves there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the cool thing about this embossing folder is, of course, you can just emboss like always. It's a nice big 6 by 6 size. So I just want my leaves to be raised. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that in the embossing folder. And then I'll bring this over here and set this inside. You always want to make sure that you have the spine going first when you run it through that to help protect your embossing folder. So run that through like that. And when you take it out, get a nice, pretty raised leaf pattern. So I will set that aside. That's going to be the background. And I'm going to, since I have my embossing folder machine out, I'm going to show you how to do the hybrid parts. If you haven't used one of these, they're really cool. We have a few different ones. In addition to the leaves, there is a beach one that has like sand dollars and stuff, and I've used that before. Some really, really cool patterns. So what you would want to do is you open up your embossing folder, and then I always look for the Stampin' Up! Logo. And that's the side that's going to accommodate your die. So in the pattern, if you see the 3 leaves here, I'm just positioning that. It kind of catches on there, so you know you've got it in correctly. So it's all nestled in there. And then I'm going to pick out a piece of cardstock. I just cut a navy blue Night of Navy one, and I'm going to set it in my embossing folder like that. And then just like I did with the plain emboss, I'm going to run this through my die cut machine and get through. And this card, you'll notice it has 3 leaf colors. Hi, Georgine, thanks for joining. Has 3 colors, so you could run this through 3 times and get 3 leaves each time. So then you'd have lots of leaves to make a card. So if you can see, not only are they cut out, but they're also, they have a dry emboss on there. So they're really nice, very textured leaves. So I will go ahead and set this aside. And that's all we need to die cut for this first card. So I did go ahead and cut out some other leaves. So I'm using, in addition to Night of Navy, I've got Lost Lagoon and Crumb Cake. So I think what I'll do is I will use this in the background. Maybe I'll use Crumb Cake, and then I'll use a Night of Navy. So then I'll just save all these other leaves, and I can use those for other cards. So we'll assemble our card. Now we've done most of the heavy lifting here. So for the card base, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this embossed leaf piece to the front of my card. And I'm gonna just use some glue to adhere that. I had a post this week on if you liked glue or tape. It was real interesting. It was very divided. I think I'm one of the people, I like to use both. I used tape for so long, and then when I started using the mono liquid glue here, I really started to like it. So it's funny how you kind of change. So this is a strip from the Country Woods Designer Series paper. I think it's 1 1/4 inches by 5 1/4. And I will simply layer that over top of the leaves. And it just adds a little interest. This paper is so pretty. It reminds me kind of beech wood just all the real kind of weathered, pretty colors. So there's our card base, and now we'll start putting the card together. For the first leaf that will be on the bottom, I'm actually gonna just glue that one down versus dimensionals. I'll use dimensionals on the other ones, but I'm just positioning it over here. And then for these guys, I will put some dimensionals on them and start layering those. And you know, if you've used dimensionals, you don't need a lot of them. They hold very, very well. So I will put this leaf a little bit over here, and then this one maybe layer it on the top like that. And I have some twine that I'm going to just simply wrap around my stems here. No real crazy fancy bow or anything, just tie a little bow with the twine like that. I think this would actually be a nice masculine card too, really. You wouldn't even have to put a bow if you felt like that was not very masculine. The final step, another one of the dies, as I showed you, it has 3 of these fun shapes that are great for the greetings of the stamp set. So I selected for this card the "You are amazing in every single way," but there's some really nice sentiments in that one. So using the Night and Navy ink, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that. So if I can center it. Typically, I would stamp it and then cut it out, but I'm trying to save you from watching me crank all the time. So got it pretty well centered there. And now we will just place it, tuck it back in there. And you can use dimensionals, or you can glue it down. We'll use dimensionals. And then it just tucks behind our leaves back here. Like that. So I think this is a really nice, easy card. Not much to it, really. The only stamping is the grading. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is the same layout, but a very different look. So I feel like this is a lot more elegant, and I would send this. For an anniversary or a wedding. So let's make this one then next. So we'll put that one aside, and for this card, we're using Very Vanilla, so it'll look very familiar. We have an 8.5 by 11 sheet cut in half for our card base and folded in the center. And then I've got a piece here that is 5 1/4 by 4, just like I did on the other. I don't need one for the inside because it's vanilla, so you don't need to layer it unless you wanted to, of course. So, and then I've also got some other little pieces. I've got a strip, I've got our little oval here, and then I have a piece where we'll cut out some leaves. So bringing back the emboss machine, for this one, we are going to first run our background through just the plain embossing folder. So we're not putting the die in or anything yet. We'll just go ahead and place it in the folder, close it, and then you always want the spine first. We'll go ahead and crank that through. Keep this up because we're going to use it again. And we've got a nice, beautiful pattern there. And we'll go ahead and tape it to our card front. But first, I'm going to get this out of the way. Just like we did last time, we'll open up our embossing folder, and on the side where the Stampin' Up! Logo is, that is where the hybrid, the dies will actually sit, and they'll catch. You can feel them just kind of stop. So I will put in this piece of vanilla cardstock in the folder, and we will run this one through next. Okay, get that out of the way. open it up. Just like the last time, we will have 3 leaves and they will be textured. So it's really cool effect. And this one, since they're all the vanilla color, we don't have to run it through once. And we can set all that aside. Put my die back over here and we can put our card together. So for this one, if you remember the first card, I just glued it down to the base. This one, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a Stampin' Dimensional on each corner. It really is nice when you're doing like tone on tone to give it some depth. So if you raise it up with dimensionals, it makes a really nice effect. So we will turn this over like this. There's our background. And then we'll position our leaves in just a second. For the greeting on this one, since I'm using gold, I thought I would emboss the words. And I selected the best day ever because I thought this would be a nice anniversary or wedding card. So I grabbed the best day ever from Happy Little Things stamp set. This is an online exclusive. And I did go ahead and I cut out the oval. When you're embossing, you always want to use the embossing buddy. Just helps take the static out of your cardstock. And then I'll use the Versamark and I will stamp my word on there like that. Can't see anything, but then the magic happens when you add the powder. So I've got some gold embossing powder in my tray. This is older than anything. And then I just tap some of the powder over top and there you go. So what you would do then, if you haven't embossed before, is you would use a heat tool and you would heat it, and as it melts, it'll turn metallic. So it goes from kind of a dull to a shiny. So because it's kind of loud, I just went ahead and did that in advance. So we've got one ready to go. And then to assemble the card, we'll go ahead and adhere our gold strip, just like we did our Designer Series paper strip, like that. And then for the leaves, one fun little effect you can do is use Wink of Stella. I use this a lot. This just is a kind of a glimmer, and you may not even be able to see it very well on video here. I will hold it up in just a second, but it's just kind of a gold, nice shimmer, and it really, I think it adds a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on all 3 of my leaves. And when I put the card together, I think you'll see it a little bit better. Hopefully you can kind of see it, but can you see the shimmer? Not really very well. I'm probably on the video there. Okay, now let's put it together. So I'm going to turn this over and glue the big leaf down. Just right over top. It's tone on tone. And then for the other 2 leaves, I will use dimensionals like I did on the first card. So hopefully you can reapply. I do this all the time. Like I'll come up with a layout, and then I do variations of the same layout. And you might see those in our new catalog. They're called sketches. There's a whole page devoted to them where they give kind of a layout idea. And so it takes some of the guesswork out if you're not somebody who likes to just sit there and try to figure it out. There's some great layouts already provided for you. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm going to use this real pretty satin ribbon here. It has gold and ivory. And put a bow. I do use a lot of bows when I stamp. Probably don't have to do this, but you know, sometimes I just like to add a bow. Okay. All right, it's been a little stubborn, but you get the idea. And then last but not least, we'll put our grading on, and I will use a dimensional for that as well. And we'll tuck it over like we did the last card. Easy peasy. So how simple are those cards? We did 2 very easy cards in just a few minutes, same layout, but I think they look quite different. So hopefully you enjoyed this and that you will comment or share this video. And just remember, if you do, probably in a day or 2, I will have a drawing, and 2 people then will have a chance to win those cards. So hopefully you'll be one of them. So that is it. 2 fun cards, and I hope you liked them. I really love a lot of these new online exclusives, and the hybrid embossing folders are awesome. So I would really encourage you, if you're scared or you're not really sure how to use them, hopefully you can watch this video over. It's very simple to use. So I would encourage you to do that. I'm sure I'll be using the same set many more times in a Facebook Live, because there's so much more you can do with it. I did minimal stamping since I was out of town. I didn't spend a ton of time experimenting and playing with the stamps, so I need to do that. And I will be on next week. I have a business trip for work, so I might have to change up the day, but I'll let you know, and I'll put something together, and hopefully you'll be able to join me. And I do appreciate you joining tonight, and I hope to see you soon. And don't forget about the kit together if you'd like to just come over and craft. So I'd love to have you. Have a wonderful evening and rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.